let's talk about summer book and movie clubs on Outschool. Hi, I'm Mary Wilson, a homeschooling mom of 4 kids, though 3 have now graduated. And for the last several years, I have been teaching book clubs on Outschool. During the school year, I offer a monthly fiction book club and a weekly graphic novel book club. But in the summer, I like to change things up and do a series of book and movie clubs so we can decide, was the book truly better? The summer book and movie clubs spark so much great discussion because kids are very opinionated about the movie versions of some of the books that they have read, some which are beloved favorites for them. So it's always a fun time. And what's really great is if your children aren't part of my school year book clubs, this is a great way to give it a try, to see what a book club online is like, to see what my style is like, and if it might work for them. And then if they're interested, they get first dibs on any of the remaining open spots for my school year book clubs. And if the spots have all been filled by current students, they get to add their name to the top of the wait list. So the summer is a great time to give it a try. First up, we have the ever delightful tale of Beezus and Ramona, and then we will compare it to the movie. This one is suggested for ages 8 to 10, but I should tell you that the ages are flexible, especially if you have a child about a year older who is interested. You might have to check with me if you have a child under the lower age range. Next, we have the young readers version of Hidden Figures, which we will compare to the film. This one is suggested for ages 11 to 14. Next, we have the illuminated adventures of Flora and Ulysses. This one is suggested for ages 8 to 11. And then a classic, A Wrinkle in Time. This one is suggested for ages 10 to 13. We also have Kate DiCamillo's beloved book, The Tale of Despero. This one is suggested for ages 8 to 11. And after that, we are doing Howl's Moving Castle, which we will compare to the animated movie, the Studio Ghibli movie. This one is suggested for ages 9 to 12. Wonder is also suggested for ages 9 to 12. And then we have The Borrowers, which is a nice short read for the summer, suggested for ages 8 to 11. And finally, we have the book Holes, one of my personal favorites, book and movie. This one is suggested for ages 10 to 13. There is a great variety this summer, so I hope your kids are able to find one that they are looking forward to, and you can sneak in some fun summer learning. If you are interested in the summer schedule, you can find it in the links below on this video. You'll also find a link where you can join my email list, and that way you won't miss registration. I send out reminders and dates and schedules and things like that. So if you're not already on it, you might want to join that at the link below. When you register for the classes, I want to show you what you get. You will get a summer book and movie guide with some of the general questions that parents also have, often have about the classroom and how things work on Outschool, especially if it's one of your first book clubs with me. And then I do things a little differently in the summer. So you will receive a list of book club questions. There are 7 questions that are going to guide our discussion of all of the books over the summer. They can kind of fit all of the books, though I will definitely add a few geared more directly to that book or modify these a little bit, but this will give your child an idea of some of the things to think about if they would like to prepare for the book club discussion ahead of time. All right, and then you will get 3 pages of questions that compare the book to the movie. And what I really love that we do in the summer, and the kids have already been asking me about this, is I put, we have some kickoff questions that I will ask at the start of the book and movie club. And then I put these headings: opening, setting, point of view, characters, plot, theme, ending, and overall. I will put whichever of those most applies to the movie that we're comparing to. I put them on an online spinner. And what we do is I spin the spinner and we answer the question that it lands on. So it's just kind of a fun way to change things up in the summer because the order of the question doesn't really matter when we're comparing the book to the movie. And that has always been kind of a more exciting way to do things, just to make the summer feel a little different. Okay, a few of the questions that I often get asked, one is about the age ranges. How strict are they? I mentioned them before when I was introducing the books. In general, if your child is a year, even 2 years above the age range, it's not going to be a problem. You can check in with me if you have any trouble registering. I typically have it so that they can't go below the age range. So definitely check in with me if you would like a link so that you can register for that class. In general, the minimum age for my classes is 8. I have just found that that seems to be the best age to kind of join an online book discussion and be able to kind of hang with it the whole time. But definitely reach out to me if you have any questions. I base these age ranges on some research on Common Sense Media and my own reading of the book and where it seems to fall with the most readers. That said, there is some flexibility, but you should definitely do your research on the books as well. Check out sites like commonsensemedia.org, which I will link below, and you can kind of look up the titles if you have any questions about some of the content. Another question I often get is siblings. Do I have to register all of the siblings or can they all just attend and I just register once? You definitely have to register each of the children attending. One of the big reasons for this is I purposefully keep my groups small enough so that everyone who wants to contribute to the discussion has the opportunity to do so. So if one registration turns into 2 or 3 kids who all want to contribute ideas, that's going to kind of mess with the numbers that I had in mind for that class. So you have to register each of the kids taking the class, but when it comes for class time, they are welcome to share a screen if they prefer to sit together in front of the same screen, and they are welcome to be in their own room with their own screen if that works better too. I have siblings who do a variety of different things. Some even register for different sections. So they'll do the same book club, but one will attend at 11 and another one will attend at noon. So whatever works for your family, but definitely register each of the children who plan to attend. All right. I think that's everything. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. And I would love to see your children this summer as we decide, is the book truly better?